morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Town of Acushnet Council on Aging meeting. Today is January 8th, 2025. I'm just starting to get into my middle age now. 2025. I never thought I'd see the day that I'd be 40.
Yeah. And you'll never see it again.
Okay, want to let you know this meeting is being videoed and audio recorded for later broadcast on local channel 8 and the Town of Acushnet's YouTube channel. Whew. Okay, I'm going to call the order. Call the meeting to order at just after 10 o'clock. And before we begin, I thought it would be a nice idea for us to just tell every one of you our names so that you know who you're talking to, or who's talking to you, I should say. And also, so when you write us to tell us how wonderful we are, you can call us by name, so that'd be pretty good. So I'm gonna let Debbie over here start on my writing.
Okay. Deborah Posa, co-chair.
Jerry Howland.
Pauline Texera. I'm Linda Gilbo.
Lauren Golda.
And I'm Dan Smith. It says here I'm the director. I've been promoted.
No. It says Lauren Golda, director.
Oh, chair. Wait, can we just?
So you have a
No, never mind. We'll leave it there. Okay. Okay, we have some minutes from the last meeting, which was December 11th, to be approved. If you've read the meeting, if you've read the minutes, do I have a motion to approve?
I can't approve them, I wrote them.
Motion to approve.
Okay, and second, okay, thank you.
And Jerry.
And that moves us on to the mail. Have we been written to? Have you written to us?
We have not received any mail.
Okay.
Not received any mail, nothing in the form of money
Lots of
order.
Christmas cards.
Lots of Christmas cards. I guess we could, well, we'll hang them up next year. Okay, on to old business. The Acushnet Council on Aging monthly newsletters are available throughout businesses in Acushnet, as well as here at the Acushnet Council on Aging. To just name a few of them, the VFW in Acushnet, the American Legion in Acushnet, Lloyd's Market, I always hate to miss the Mill,
The mill.
so, and quite a few other places, so if you're...
Bonneville's Market. It's good to
Bonneville's
name them
Market.
because these are the people that support us, so we should support them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Cam's Restaurant.
Cam's,
Next door to Rochelle's, Scuttlebutts.
Oh, Scuttlebutts, the
library.
Yeah, the library.
Yeah.
Turkeys.
Oh,
I know that's not in town,
yeah. Well, here's a big thing, the post office, because they always want them.
And they
go. And I put them out and they go, so.
They go, yeah.
So.
They're always trying to sell me stamps, though, that's why I...
Oh.
Okay, we have medical equipment available here at the Acushnet Council on Aging, and would anyone like to elaborate on that, boss?
Sure. We have gently used medical equipment, canes, walkers, rollators, shower chairs. They come in just as quickly as they go out. They're free of charge, and anybody can just come in and grab them. We don't even ask for them to be returned. We just ask that they either go to somebody else in need, or, if they are returned that way, we can give them to somebody else who needs them.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, we touched on this a little bit last month, inclement weather and the hours of the Acushnet Council on Aging. If inclement weather should happen, and it probably will. If the schools are closed, then the Acushnet Council on Aging will also be closed for classes and programs. The director and custodial staff will be on site in case of emergencies. If the town hall is closed, the Acushnet Council on Aging is closed. Let's see, we have an adult storyteller coming. His name is John Porcino, I would think, right? Like Pacino?
Yeah.
It's not Al Pacino's brother, it might be his cousin. But anyway, on Wednesday, January 22nd at 12:30, he'll be coming to to read to us, an adult storyteller.
There'll be songs, stories. He came very well recommended. The Cultural Council is sponsoring him, and we wanted him even sooner about, schedules and that, so it's a nice way to start out the year. And it's no charge to the public.
Registration is required, just so you know that. And I hope he's not a speed reader, because then I'd only get every fifth word.
And there you go.
Oh, manicures, this is for me now. Old Colony cosmetology students will be coming to do manicures on January 9th. Registration is required for that, and do we have a time roughly? Because I didn't look at that.
So I believe their first appointment is at 9, and they go till about like 11:30, so there's with multiple appointment slots within
Oh.
each time frame.
So they actually give you an appointment, and then you just show up at that time and
Exactly,
they're ready
yeah.
for you. That's great.
Now, is this gonna continue through the year?
I believe most of the school year. I want to say last winter, they stopped around, I think it was like springtime.
Okay.
But they come, I think it's either every month or every other month, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's a nice turnout.
So, if this comes on TV after January 9th, at least people can call the council and find out when the next
next one
time
will be,
is.
yep.
Yeah. Okay,
And that's also no charge, am I correct?
Correct.
no charge.
They do take tips.
Yeah, of course.
What can I do about my receding hairline?
I don't know.
They can polish it, nail polish it. So then you just a little
Okay, here we go. Okay, that's the old business. Do we have a motion to accept? That's the old business.
I make a motion to accept.
Okay.
Second the motion.
All right, that's accepted, thank you. And before I continue, I wanted to mention our good friend John, who's the man behind the camera. And I know you never get to see him, he's been away, but he didn't
Why
bring,
don't you come over and they can look at
so they
you?
can see you. He didn't bring his cape and towel today, so you're gonna know who he really is.
There he is. Go over
This
there.
is the cameraman, the crew, and the director right here.
Buddy John.
We appreciate everything you
John
do.
told him.
Yep, we appreciate everything you do. And okay, going on to new business. Our director, Lauren Golda here, is going to give us a brief overview of the Acushnet Council on Aging's past year, 2024, some of the things that have happened, and some of the things that we are trying to plan for 2025. So with that, I'll turn it over to Golda.
Right. So as we know that there's been a lot of building maintenance issues that we've dealt with over the last year. I'll just kind of go through the list of things that we've had updated. So we've updated the toilets that was used with the earmark grant that we had received. We also painted the restrooms when that project was happening. We finished the handicap accessible buttons in the back door. We had the new doors installed, and the buttons were delayed for quite some time, so we were able to get those going, which has been, extremely helpful for folks coming in with mobility, issues and just carrying things in. We have a bunch of activities always going on, so it's good to just have that available. We did buy 2 new sump pumps in the basement, which have been working phenomenally with any flooding or anything like that we've had in the past. We had the septic tank and the grease traps pumped, which we think was also adding to some of the plumbing issues that we had had at one point. In addition to the toilets, we did add, forgive me for not knowing the correct terminology, it's a flushometer, I think it was, which just allows for more water to be flushed through the toilets.
Okay.
So again, that's helped with a lot of the plumbing issues that we were having in the beginning. We had new gutters installed this fall, and that was with earmark grant money too that we had. And then we also had refrigerator maintenance. I was not aware of any maintenance that was done in the past, and Coastline does use the kitchen daily for the Meals on Wheels program. So I felt that was important to at least get that checked out, so they were able to flush the lines and do everything that they needed to do. And Coastline actually shared the cost of that with us, which I thought was really nice. I reached out to them, and again, because it is a shared space, that they were more than willing to share that with us. And I applied for a new grant. We did receive a minivan. I'm not sure when Heather had applied previously, but when I started in February, that's when the new van was given to us. It's a minivan. I applied for a grant, that same grant, for a 12-passenger van to replace our 10-passenger. I'm just kind of thinking in the future. It's still in good standing currently, but I was just worried that, in 2 years from now, or however long it takes for the grant to go through, and if, we are approved, that this new van would be a good addition to what we have going, so to replace the older one. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I did apply, so obviously we're hoping for good news. And then in 2025, some other building updates that I would like to see. We do need the roof repaired, and that's been ongoing, I think, even from last year. It's not the full roof as far as I've been informed. I think it's just a few segments of the roof that would just need to be replaced. So we'll work on getting quotes for that, hopefully in the spring, and use the remainder of the earmark grant money that we have. And then just something extra that I would like to see done, I would like to get a professional deep clean done of the building. I think that's important, especially I know that we're kind of over the huge sweep of COVID. But I don't know the last time that was actually done in the building, and I think it would be beneficial to have a deep cleaning done. And that would make it easier for the custodial staff to keep up with things as well. I think in the past, things have kind of been forgotten, and we focus so much on the day-to-day stuff that we see, and I think, a deep clean in the building, the walls, everything would be, really good to see done, so that's an extra bonus thing. It's nothing that, is urgent at this time, and I know that there's other things that need to be replaced, but.
Especially with all the new neuroviruses
Exactly,
and everything,
yeah.
again, that would be great.
And it wouldn't be in all the time, it just, one.
Yeah, one time.
So. That was all.
Thank you,
I know that was a
Gloria.
lot.
That was great. Now that, what did you call that, a super flush button?
Oh, a flushometer.
Flushometer,
Yes.
does that have like a red alert button in the back?
It sounds like it, flush it. Sounds like an air.
I gotta check that out. Okay, yes, thank you very much, I appreciate that. We want to talk about the outreach specialist position. It is still available, we still have people making applications for it, filling out applications for it. And currently, I guess, Lauren is going through interviews with some of the folks.
Yes,
So-
hoping to schedule those in the upcoming days.
So that's still available if anyone's interested, and I don't remember what the requirements are. Do they need a bachelor's degree?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think it was either a bachelor's degree in
Or
like social
experience.
services,
Or
or
experience.
experience could take over for that.
Okay, we'd like to remind you that Representative Paul Schmidt is here on the first Monday of every month from 11:30 to 12:30, and he'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And he's a nice man. I've met Paul many times.
Yeah.
Yep, he's a good guy. Let's see, Lauren already talked about the gently used medical equipment that we have, so if anybody needs something like a walker or a cane or whatever, we might be able to help you. Okay, there's a Veterans Coffee Social here at the Acushnet Council on Aging. It's the first Tuesday of every month, and let's see, what does it say here? It's with Brad Fish, and it's from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. And let's see, it says his phone number here is 508-998-0207, extension 4207. So if any veterans are interested in that, or if you wish you were a veteran, they might let you in. We'll see how it goes. Okay.
He always brings donuts, so that's good.
Okay, so do I have a motion to accept the new business? Thank you,
Second.
thank you. Okay, that's accepted.
So it's Pauline and Jerry?
We have, under information or questions for the board, we have the passing of Claire, let me try this again. The passing of Claire
Jaget.
Jaget.
Okay, I'd like to talk about that.
Okay.
Talk about Claire. Everyone knows Pat Madursky. Pat is a member of the board, and she is not here today because this is the week that her mother was laid to rest. Pat has done so much in town. She's very well known. This is Pat now I'm talking about. She's a nurse, and she is a lovely, lovely lady, and that's because of her mother, Claire Jaget. Claire was an angel. We don't usually talk about people who have passed, but Claire, not only did she come to the Council on Aging, she worked for Coastline Elderly until she was in her 80s. And I remember meeting her about 20 years ago, and there was this lovely lady running around, kind of greeting people, pointing you in the right direction, answering people's questions. That was Claire. And I didn't know that Pat was her daughter until we had here at the Council on Aging, we had a Friends of the Elderly. And Claire was a big part of that. And she would come here at night, and I would be here too, and we would open up the center for different activities. Mainly we were starting Zumba here, I think. So then time went on, and Claire started to lose it a little bit, and Pat started bringing her in. Well, Claire thought that this was her job, and Heather would give her some envelopes to stuff, and she was always so pleasant. And she and I would be talking, and she'd say to me, well, you know, you're a lovely lady, but I have a job that I have to get to. I said, okay, and she'd go. And then later, when she was at Alden Court, and her family, first of all, every time you saw Claire, she was like immaculate. I mean, always her hair was done, her always looked so cute and always so pleasant. And she was at Alden Court, and her family, I know that they checked up and made sure everything was done right, but Alden Court does a good job. And Claire was very happy there, and I went to visit her, and she would smile and talk with me, but I only went a couple of times. But one time, Pat was talking with her, and I was seeing Pat said, would you like to talk with my mother? Oh yeah, so I'm talking to her, and again, well, you seem to be a lovely lady, but I have to get back to work. So she even had a job at Alden Court. She really didn't, but she thought she did. And the last time I saw Claire, again, she was sitting at a table, sort of like this one, with a lot of other elderly people, but her head was down. And the attendant said, Claire, you had company, but she was kind of sleeping. And she went down, you know, she definitely went downhill. But she did celebrate her 100th birthday. Oh, and one other thing. I wrote a letter to recommend Claire for Woman of the Year because she was so active with the veterans. She did everything for soldiers. She did all kinds, well, she did many things in town, but the veterans, that was her thing. She didn't get it, but she did get other awards and acclamations, you know. So she didn't get Woman of the Year, and shame on the Standard Times, but that's okay, because she was well recognized. But she did Girl Scouts here. She did crafts, you know, here in town. She worked on a farm when she was younger. She had like 5 or 6 children. I mean, what a great lady, and just the salt of the earth. Is that a saying? Do they still say that?
Yes,
The salt of the earth.
The real deal.
Yeah, so we don't usually talk about people. A lot of our members are wonderful and have passed on, and we miss them very much. But Claire was really special, from Coastline and working here, well, having a job here, and, you know, so that's why, and she's Pat's mom, and Pat's a member of our board, and that's why I wanted to mention her.
So she was Woman of the Year here.
She certainly was.
She sure was.
And should have been Woman of the Year for Acushnet.
And her daughter's just as lovely.
Oh, her daughter, she's her mother. You
Yeah.
know, I found the perfect card that said, you know, your mother's influence on you, and you know, she'll always be with you, and she's part of Pat. And the other children are nice too. I met another daughter, I met a couple of sons.
The 2 sons, yeah.
Very nice, yeah. Yep.
Why don't we just take a moment of silence for Claire?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And Claire, I know we're talking about Claire, but I should also mention Ted Chopper. Ted Chopper.
Yeah, that's right.
Very well known in Acushnet, and we should mention his name. I don't know much about him. He was an older man.
Yeah, he still owns the plaza where,
Camps.
yes, we came to.
That all of those.
All that plaza there, he owns
Okay.
it, but his son has been running it because
Okay, yeah.
he was not.
Well, yeah. He lost his daughter recently, and
Yeah.
then he passed.
Yeah, but he was a nice man.
I heard that he
Very
was.
well
I
known.
didn't know him.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always a lot going on for a small town in Acushnet.
Yes,
You
yeah.
can say that
All these
again.
things
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
I'd like to call your attention to a few websites. First of all, the Acushnet Council on Aging website, the Acushnet Library. I'm not sure what these websites are, but I would imagine if you Google them, you'll get
Well,
right to them.
This is why I put this in here.
Okay.
The Acushnet Cultural Council sponsors a lot of programs, and these programs are held here at the Council on Aging and at the library. And people don't really know that these programs are free, and so often you hear, small town, nothing to do. Plenty to do. If you go on the library website, there are so many programs going on daily for all age groups, children, middle-aged people, like we're middle-aged, and for older people too. And it's all, a lot of it, not all, but a lot is sponsored by the Acushnet Cultural Council as well as the Friends of the Acushnet Library. Here at the center, Lauren has a gigantic budget. Lauren has a budget and she puts on many programs here through grants. But also we have programs here from the Acushnet Cultural Council. And just this morning I went over and I saw Tanya and Sydney at Town Hall.
Yeah.
And they're gonna put a lot of the things that are going on from the Acushnet Cultural Council on a website.
Yeah.
So I just want people out there to know that go to these websites, you can see all of these activities and events and programs that are taking place. Most, they're free of charge, you know, because the Cultural Council is sponsoring them, or the Friends of the Library, or Lauren are sponsoring these programs. But that's why the websites, you know, I never looked at the websites. I never did. And
A lot of people don't know they
No.
exist.
yeah, so I guess what people out there should do is go to the town of Acushnet
Yeah.
and then look at the individual websites.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and Pauline has a website there too, for the Historical
Oh,
Commission.
yes, we do.
Yeah, and the museum is open in the summer, people
Yep.
can come and visit.
Yeah.
And they do have people from all over that come
From
back.
May through September.
Yeah,
Nice.
I
Yeah.
should have mentioned your website, I'll put it in the notes, okay, for next time.
I forgot it.
Well, they would just go to the, Historical
Wait a
Commission.
minute, longplainmuseum.org.
But it would be on the Acushnet website.
Oh,
too,
yeah, yeah, it's
So,
listed there.
okay, the museum, yeah. Okay, and that's all I wanted to say. I said a lot today, huh?
That's all right. We welcome it.
Big mouth.
It's our first meeting of the year, we have a lot to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And could I mention just one thing? If there's, the flyers left over, if more could go to the post office.
Okay,
My husband is getting badgered every day when he goes for our mail because there's no more flyers.
Okay.
They take them quickly.
um,
And he comes home and he tells me every day that you gotta get flyers over there because they're badgering me every day.
you know what? When I leave here, I have a meeting I have to go to right away, but I'll stop at the post office first.
Okay, bring some more. All right, thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
We here at the Acushnet Council on Aging want to ask everybody to please be safe. It looks like we could have a pretty nasty winter at times. First of all, the temperature is colder than it's been, I think, for the last 4 years. It's very important that you be careful with electric heaters. Don't burn kerosene heaters in your
And
home.
wood stoves.
Wood stoves are another thing. Just be careful. Be careful when it snows or there's ice out because, you know, you gotta be careful if you're trying to shovel and you're not quite up to shoveling and stuff like that. Please try to ask somebody for help. Just kind of be careful because this winter might be
Kind of rough.
the coldest and snowiest we've had in 3 or 4 years. Anyone have anything they'd like to add?
So,
All set?
Okay, then our next meeting will be Wednesday. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
make a motion to adjourn, and I need a second.
Oh, I haven't got there yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, do your thing first.
Our next meeting will be Wednesday, February 12th, 2025 at 10 a.m. right here at the Acushnet Council on Aging. And now, I would like to, go ahead.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you next month. Meeting adjourned.